what can I do for you?
Well, my question is,
CJ, was that like a delayed reaction? Love, you can request back up. It sounds like you did have a question, so you can request back up. So just hit the button again, and I'll bring you back up. The mods took you down accidentally. Accidentally. Um, Coach, is it okay to keep talking to our exes as a couple? No, wouldn't recommend it. What's up, Shantega? I leave them. Well, why are you leaving them? Why are you leaving them? Is Shorty not going to request back up? What was her username? Wasn't it Stephanie something? Let me see if I can send her an invite. I think this was her. Yeah, let's invite her again to cop back up. Coach, you used to use the apps though? Right. Which is why I know that it's a waste of time. Most of the things I tell y'all I have direct experience with, not just thinking about it. Hey there, sorry about that.
why, sorry, my network was so horrible.
Okay.
I was asking if it's okay for my boyfriend to be talking to his exes when I'm in a relationship with him.
So you're in a relationship with a guy, he's talking to his ex?
Yes.
What are they talking about, do you know?
Constantly checking up on each other and expressing how they used to feel when they were together. Yeah.
How do you know this? Is he telling you this or you found out by other means?
About it.
Say that again?
I found out by myself. He didn't tell me.
Okay, how'd you find out?
I'm a lady. What do you expect?
Yeah, just answer the question, love. How'd you find out?
I was investigating.
Okay,
When
gotcha.
I come across the conversations and his phone and all that.
Gotcha. How long have y'all been together? Hello?
9 months.
9 months? Okay. How old are you two?
Huh?
How old are you two?
You mean the age difference?
Yes, how old are you? What's your age and what is his age?
I'm 32 and he's 39.
Okay. And how did y'all meet?
He drove to my town, the Copper Belt. We're in Zambia.
Okay.
He's
And
going to.
do you know how long he was single before he met you?
Not quite.
Okay. How long was their relationship?
Some good years. I'm not certain, but I know there were some good years.
Okay. So have you approached him about this issue?
Yeah, he tells me he doesn't create enmity with his exes, but it's too much. What are they talking about?
He told you what?
He doesn't like creating enmity with his exes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say leave the situation for sure.
Hmm?
Yeah. If you want my advice, I would say this is a situation to leave if he's talking to his exes about or his ex about how they felt about one another. And then he's pretty much telling you that he's going to continue talking to her because he doesn't want to create any kind of animosity. That's just an excuse. So if you stay in this, you will regret it.
Wow, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure he'll be happy about that. She seemed like she was kind of annoying. Try to do him a favor. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I just had a question about the relationship that I'm in. I've been dating this girl for 8 months now. She's from Brazil and moved here like a year ago, and things are going pretty well. But like something I've been noticing is like I am the one who pretty much like pays for everything, and like I'll get her gifts and flowers and stuff. And maybe it's like a love language thing, but she like does not ever offer to pay for anything, doesn't really do any of that sort of stuff. And it was something I brought up even once with her maybe like 4 months ago. I was like, oh yeah, I'd love if you offered to pay for something once in a while, and nothing changed after that. And so I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if it's something I'm like overreacting about, or if I should expect I guess reciprocity from her on that.
Okay. How old are you two?
We're both 28.
Okay. And how did you meet her?
I met her in person through church.
Okay. Okay. Um, and she's from Brazil, so this is her first time in the U.S.
It is, yeah. And my understanding is that it's like partially a cultural thing, and I think that the guy she's dated in the past, like, I think over there it is sort of like the guy pays for everything, but that's like, not what I'm used to in my previous relationships.
Got you. So what's your question here?
I guess my question is, at what point do you like have to question like if I don't know if the effort isn't matched, or is it an issue that's worth pressing, or because with this girl a lot of this stuff's going well, and I'm trying to kind of decide if she's a girl I want to like get engaged with or something, and I sometimes have this feeling of like, am I putting in a lot more effort than she is?
How long have y'all been together again?
8 months, like
8 months.
officially.
So what are you like paying for?
Like dates and little gifts here and there, and like some clothes for her to keep at my place. We don't live together yet.
What are the gifts?
Like I mean, like flowers, but and like I don't know, some like sunglasses, just like small, like nothing like huge.
How often are you getting flowers?
I could say once a month.
Okay. Why are you getting flowers?
Sorry.
Why are you getting flowers?
I know she likes them, and it's not so much that I have an issue putting in that amount of effort. It's just sort of I noticed that like she never buys anything for me, and it's not like she's like cooking or cleaning for me or anything like that. But I mean, I do like getting her like gifts and doing stuff for her.
Okay. What's your love language?
I haven't put too much thought into that. I'm not sure.
Okay. How does she pour into the relationship?
So like I said, there's a lot of good. I mean, she shows like a ton of like physical affection. She's very caring. And she's very emotionally like available and open, and always makes time to either like talk or see me. Whenever, and very rarely do I like open up to her, like tell her my problems, but the few times I have, she's like very receptive and like helpful and caring. So she's a very affectionate person.
What does she do for work?
She's a geologist.
Okay.
And I'll say we both make like roughly the same, like roughly around like 100,000 a year. So it's not like I make like way more than her or anything like that.
Got you. Okay. And what was her response when you brought that up to her?
So when I brought it up to her, she said that it was she was like, oh my god, I didn't even think of that. It's a cultural thing, and like in my previous relationships, like the guys would have almost been like offended if I offered to pay, so I never did with you. And she told me, she was like, I don't think it would even help that much if I paid for things here and there, but maybe it would add more benefit to you if I like meal prepped for you or did stuff like that. And I was like, honestly, that sounds like a great idea. But then she, that was 4 months ago, and she never started, doing that for me. that was sort of her response, was like she didn't think it would add that much value to me for her to pay for like things here and there, which I get. But then she offered, like, I think she said, like, oh, let me meal prep for you every week, and then she never went through with that.
Did y'all ever talk about it again?
No, and we have not brought it up again, but it's something that's been on my mind the past like week or two, and so I guess maybe that's my question, is like, should I bring it up with her again?
Yeah, I wouldn't bring it up in like a tough conversation. I would just bring it up as like I would assume that she plans on doing it, and then like tell her what you like from meal prepping, and then see if she does it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about the
That's
meal
a
prep
good
thing
idea.
that you said. Like, I really would like. I don't know what you planned on cooking, but like I really would like this. What do you think? Like, what is your specialty? Just assume she's going to do it. Then,
Yeah.
because she could have forgotten about it. This is a way to bring it up without it being like a high pressure conversation, right? Because those can kind of get annoying. But it doesn't sound like she's pouring into the relationship at all. Aside from, you know, being in any tangible way.
Yeah, okay, and I guess that is maybe my overall question, is I want to make sure I'm not like missing anything, but to hear you say that, that you think it sounds like she's not pouring in at all. That's sort of, I guess, what I'm trying to figure out, because she does, like I said, very affectionate and caring, but yeah, like tangibly, I guess there isn't a lot. And I'll add, like, and again, I don't mind doing it, but I'll do stuff like I'll fix stuff in her car, install her dash cam, wash her car for her, like help her put furniture together and stuff. Like, I do those sort of like guy stuff to like help her, acts of service type stuff, and which I feel like is also a tangible thing. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, am I missing something that she's doing for me or should be doing?
Yeah, so you need to like there should be some degree of tangibility to her value to the relationship. Absolutely. Or else you're setting yourself up to where like you're just gonna have to do all the work in the relationship. And she's
Yeah.
just her gift is just her presence, right? That's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
We want people who can be useful in our lives, which is just fair. We don't want to just have a pretty woman around just because she's pretty. Nah, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
The thing that I would check on your end is a lot of time when I see people who are like, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and the other person isn't. A lot of times that comes from a place of you doing things to get the woman to like you.
Okay.
So I would check your intention, check your heart posture there. Really make sure, because when you're doing stuff or giving value and it's simply an expression of who you are, you're not scorekeeping. Like if I'm genuinely doing a favor or genuinely just being generous, I'm not scorekeeping, right? You start scorekeeping when you're doing something in order to get something.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take that position because that can lead to resentment. Okay? So that's why I was asking, like, why are you getting her flowers? Why are you buying her sunglasses? It's not saying that anything is wrong with buying people gifts or giving them flowers. No. But that should be an expression of just your generous nature. Not, oh, I'm doing this to keep you around or I'm doing this to make you like me.
Okay, no, and I totally see what you're saying there, and maybe I have to do some like self-reflection on it. I'd say at least for like the flowers and like the doing, like helping her with her car and stuff, I feel like that is just an expression of like trying to help her. But at the same time, I am totally like, I'm seeing some of the comments, I am totally like scorekeeping and getting towards like a resentful place. So maybe I need to reflect on see if I am doing any of it to like people please.
Right. So just make sure, like, before you make any decision like that, just ask yourself where it's coming from so you can be aware of the difference, and then do it if it's coming from the right place. On top of that, you talking about the meal prep situation, you want to watch her after that. I wouldn't even let another 4 months fly by. If she doesn't change her behavior after that.
You mean like kind of casually like bring up that she mentioned it, like see if she'll do it again, and then see if anything changes? 'Cause, I mean, hey, I would love if she did that for me, and that was her idea. Like her solution the first time I brought it up was like, yeah, buying a meal here and there probably won't help you that much, but if I meal prep for you every week, like that would actually make a huge difference in my life. So I would love if she did.
Right. Right. So yeah. So just bring it up casually, not like, hey, you said you would do this and you didn't. I would assume I would have the conversation like you're assuming she's going to do it. Right?
Okay.
And then just be like, yeah, I actually like this. What do you like to cook? I want to see if like that's something I would like for like meal prepping. And then after y'all had a little conversation, you'll watch and you see what she does. If she starts doing it, then you give positive reinforcement for that. You let her know how much that means to you, right? To encourage her to do it more. If she doesn't do anything, that is your sign that she is not willing or capable of pouring into a relationship. So she's probably used to a dynamic where she's just the princess, in which case I would leave.
Okay. Well, no, that totally makes sense, man. I'll definitely. I appreciate the advice a lot because, yeah, I think I was also putting a lot of weight into like, oh, she's emotionally available and she's like, uh, like comforting and physically affectionate. But I guess you are right; those aren't necessarily like
You
tangible
gotta understand,
things.
some of those things are cultural, brother. That's why guys go into that passport bro thing. Those women over there they got a different type of game. It's a different type of game. So that's like
Yeah.
their default setting a lot of times when it comes to just engaging men in general. So
Okay.
yeah, so I would play it the way I just described it, and then assess her behavior from there, and then see if it changes. If not, you got a problem on your hands.
Okay. Well, hey, I really appreciate the advice, man. I'll definitely take it to heart.
Absolutely, brother. Keep me posted with how it goes. All right.
I will. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right. Who else do we got? Who else do we have? That was a good call, wasn't it? Hmm? Can we unpack keeping score and reciprocity? I just unpacked it. What do you have questions about? When I talk, you gotta like really listen to everything I'm saying, not just notice one sentence and then harp on that. You gotta really hear everything I'm saying because I'm sure I answered your question in that explanation that I gave him. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me well?
I can. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What can I do for you?
So, I've listened to your lives quite a bit over the past few weeks, and things have kind of changed a lot in the past few weeks too. But to give you an idea, so I was in like my very first real relationship a few years ago. Things moved really fast. I made decisions. Like looking back, I'm like, okay, girl. Like I made some like kind of wild decisions. Well, I met him while I was in grad school. I don't know. I think I fell too deep without really like having a basis of knowing who he is, if he's really worthy of my time, da 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 da. But it was like, I guess I felt seen and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna jump in. Also, side note, I apologize if you hear screaming. I'm at a playground, so
Okay.
my kiddo's playing, so.
You're good. You're good.
But anyways, like, and hearing us back, I know people might think like, girl, like, well, why'd you do all that? But I already see it, so it's okay. Anyways, I got into a relationship with him really quickly. He was a few years younger than me. We were kind of maybe at like different levels educationally, which is fine. But I think I came about things a lot more mature than he was, but I really just kind of felt chosen, da 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 da. He I ended up moving in with him really soon, about 3 months in.
Okay.
Like 2 months later, got pregnant, and there was a shift that happened immediately, like once I got pregnant, and I don't know. I think I just kind of like held myself to, keeping myself positive, making it seem like everything was good. But I think I just had those like rose-colored glasses on. Anyways, just to kind of keep it short, we ended up separating after my son was it was around 8 months. I finished my program. And it wasn't until we separated and I had to move back to family that really my eyes started opening. I felt really hurt. Why we ended up ending things was because I tried to be blind to it, but he was really just kind of looking into getting in relationships with other people while we were in a relationship. And I think I was just trying to be oblivious to it for a little while. But all the hurt really came after. When I moved back to family, I thought he was, I think I kind of wanted him to be a safe space for me. But he wasn't. I'm still trying to keep this short. Anyways, it's been a few years. My son's 4 now. And during that separation, I had been trying so hard to, I guess, create this idea, this dynamic of family, and still allow him to have that space in our lives to be a dad, blah, blah, blah. And it really just didn't work out because I think I was trying too hard. And we kind of recently, this past few weeks, rekindled in the way of he called, reached out, was crying to me, and was kind of regretting all the things that he did in the relationship. And I held space as I always did and listened and trying to understand where he was coming from, but it was just kind of weird to kind of experience, I guess. But anyways, I had been trying to tell him you should definitely come and see your son, da 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 da, and he has a lot of family down there that hasn't seen my son, so he was like, well, why don't you come down here? You should, try to at least try within a relationship. And I was like, well, we don't really have a relationship right now. Really, we're just 2 people that had a baby. And, I don't really know him. I feel like I just don't know him. But anyways, I ended up making plans a few weeks ago, being like, you know what? Fine, we can get out of the city, out of my town, and drive down there. I can bring his kiddo, but I'm on this really I'm on guard with him, and I guess I just don't know how to navigate. I recently try to every time I feel I'm always the one initiating conversation, initiating even communicating how to move forward, of just him having a relationship. And I think he has this hope that we're going to get back together, and it's going to take a lot for me to even, open up. So I guess the question is, how do you navigate, reconnecting with somebody that you feel doesn't really even know you anymore?
Okay. How old are you 2?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How old are you 2?
So I'm 30. He's 28.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
Yeah. So I was in school, professional school, but we met through mutual friends. So the friends, they were in my program, and he wasn't in my program. He went to another university, but so it was through mutual friends. Yeah.
And how long was the relationship?
In total, it was about 2.5 years.
Okay. How long did y'all date before making things official?
How long did we date till what?
Before making things official.
For 5 months. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes.
5
go
months.
play. Go. Okay. So it was
Okay.
about 5 months.
How
Yeah.
soon did you move in?
It was dumb. It was like 3 months into the relationship.
3 months into the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like looking back, like I realized like it was definitely like one of those situations. Like I was like looking back and like, dang, I made some really dumb decisions. But I think it was like one of those things that it was a nice financial move on everyone's end. I don't know. It was just dumb. But
Got you. Okay, and why did things end?
you say why?
Uh-huh.
I think I was just kind of like convinced that it was a good idea. Like, oh, like, you know, like it will save money, like we love each other.
No, why did y'all break up?
Oh, why did we break up? Oh, well, so I had my son, and he was like probably around 8 months when I broke up with him. Well, things were just kind of rough. Like communication was bad. He was just hiding a lot of things. He was just talking to other people. He was just kind of like avoiding conflict, avoiding conversation with me. And I don't know. He ended up, well, okay, to be really specific, he started like talking to this one girl while we were, you know, I was at home, like still in school and stuff. And he ended up like talking to this one girl, and he was just like talking really highly of this person. And I was just kind of like, like I don't know, like what's going on? What are you talking about? He was like, oh, we're just like networking. And I think he really just thought I was like stupid. Okay. You can go to the bathroom. Hold on. I think he just really thought I was like dumb. But like I was just like, okay, like you said you're like networking with this person, and it really didn't make sense. But he ended up just like saying like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go out and go network, because he ended up like he was going back and forth between jobs, and it made me feel really, really unstable. Like, or I just felt like not safe. You know, I was postpartum and still in grad school, and I just felt really unsafe. Like he was doing like a lot of sales jobs that were like not really stable income, and we were living mostly like on my loans during grad school. But yeah, so he was like secretly like messaging this girl and like lying about it and stuff like that. And I think I got to a point where I felt really unstable. Hold on. Yeah, finish. I just felt really unstable, and I don't know. I think just during that time, I kind of like, it was really out of emotion. I was like, I think I should move back. I was like, I think I should just move back home. I didn't really feel the support in that time. I didn't really feel supported. And really, I just thought my next best move was like to move back to my parents, which I wouldn't say it was the best move for me and my son, because I've had to like unpack a lot of like things in me, like emotionally, through therapy, and just kind of being back into my
Okay,
like,
hold on one second.
family
Is that
dynamics.
where you currently live?
Sorry, say that again?
Is that where you currently live?
Currently, yeah, back with my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the co-parenting relationship like?
There isn't one. There isn't one.
Why is that?
Well, I tried to get that in place. Like when we were like on the verge of separating, like it was communicated that, okay, like things are not really working out. I think we need space, and we're trying to navigate that. But I ended up moving back to my parents, which was out of state. He ended up moving to another state for a job, which at that time he was really hoping for me to move there with him, but I didn't really feel like it was I just didn't feel like it was a safe move for me, because I'm like, okay, if he's just already kind of playing me right now, I don't think I'm gonna feel safe to just move out of state for somebody. And I don't think we just really built a good foundation. But in that time, we tried to set something up. We even had like a whole mediation with a church pastor that we were like going to church with, which was already sometimes like it got a little bit problematic there. But we tried to like create like a co-parenting situation, and it didn't happen. And there was once I moved back to my parents, there was a lot, like I felt like I was seen as like emotionally unstable, but really I experienced like all of the feelings and emotion of somebody, like a woman that just got hurt. And I was trying to like set up everything, being like, hey, like I still want you to be in your son's life. Let's set up some times for you to spend time with him. We even tried to set up FaceTime calls, but it was me always initiating. I was like, okay, well, financially, do you want to help? And he was like, yeah, I'll send you money here and there. And people were like, oh, you should get him on child support. He was just making me out to be somebody that was like evil, and be like, oh, if he put me on child support, you're just acting out of emotion, and you're just acting out of, like anger. And do you really think that, like, it was just a lot of gaslighting shit that happened. So I just was like, I'm the type of person where I'm like, you know what? If there's just too much going on, I'm just gonna just shut up and
Okay,
just
hold on.
allow things to happen.
Okay, hold on. Try to just answer the specific question I'm asking you. So, did you put him on child support?
No.
Okay.
So I've been myself. I've just been like
Okay, I got
supporting
you.
myself.
I got you. Okay, so have you dated at all since y'all been apart?
Have you what?
Have you dated anyone else since you broken up with him?
No, I actually. It's funny because I tried to. I met like one guy maybe a year after that whole situation. Let's go play. Okay, I see you. Yeah, I tried to. I started like actually having feelings for somebody else, which was crazy to me. But I think I didn't really like necessarily heal so much from that relationship, and I just felt really guarded, and I don't know. So I tried to, but I thought I was ready. But I don't think I was really going about dating right. Like
Gotcha.
the more I listen to your lives, I'm like, you don't really have like the most healthy like ways of going about dating and holding yourself. Like,
Gotcha. So, what makes you want to reconnect with him? It sounds like you're looking to entertain him again.
I think the only reason is just like, I think I'm just trying to salvage the efforts that I've put in to allow him to show up as a dad for his son. And, when we communicate, he has a lot of like, flirtatiousness and trying to like connect with me on a level that like maybe he should have before. But it's really just mainly about my son, but also I guess a part of me is like, okay, will this be helpful for me to just try to reconnect and learn how to separate myself from who I was back then, as someone that just, I don't know, I just literally just did everything in the relationship when I was with him. And I guess I was just trying to give myself an opportunity to navigate it differently with like the knowledge that I do now. But I haven't really opened myself up to dating other people much, which I have been considering. Maybe that's
Okay, I got you. I gotta mute
something I
you.
should
I gotta mute you real quick because it's a lot of background noise. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, then I'll unmute you. Quick snip test of this situation is: this was the last emotionally significant romantic connection that you had. So I do think that you want the best for your son. Sound like a good mother, right? But I also think part of you is curious or possibly even hoping for there to be some sort of reconciliation for yourself, because you haven't had really any romantic momentum since leaving. That was years ago, right? So the way this is likely going to work out is you're going to tell yourself you're doing this for your son. He's going to continue putting the moves on you. You're going to perceive that as evidence of change. He wasn't showing me this attention before. Now he's showing it now. Now he must have changed. And you're going to fall for it. And then you're going to see this is the same individual that you left. He likely called you crying because shit has gone bad for him. Maybe romantically. So he's trying to get back with you. It would be a bad move. I question the character of any person, man or woman, who is not trying to be in their child's life. One of the greatest vetting tools when it comes to choosing who to be with is who would be a good parent. Someone who's a good parent has the character and qualities that can also make them a good partner. It's not always apples to apples, but it's a good foundation. And he's already shown you he's not a good father. You had to initiate FaceTime calls. This ain't nobody to reproduce with, let alone be with in a relationship. So before you entertain having him come back in your child's life, which I'm not opposed to that, you need firm boundaries. That means communicate only when it's about the child. My sneaky suspicion is if you were to set those boundaries, if you were to refuse to talk to him with any kind of flirtatious energy, any kind of playful energy, and you only communicate with him if it's about the child, he may not be so pressed on seeing the child anymore. Now I'm gonna unmute you to see how all that landed.
Yeah, that landed pretty well. That's pretty much in line to what I've navigated a lot with, like the therapy and things like that. And anytime, yeah, you're right. Like anytime it's been like strictly and solely about my son, which I have navigated, like trying those boundaries. It's like we'll have a conversation and he always tries to bring it back to me, and I'll just hold it to me like, yeah, like your son is doing great, this and this and that. And every time I brought it back to him, I would like rarely hear from him. And when he called me crying, it was so random. It was so random. Like I remember at that time I was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I thought about this live, but it's been a few weeks since then. And in the most recent days about trying to make plans, most of the conversation has been very like flirtatious, like, trying to joke with me and this and that. And really there's not a lot of communications, like talk about him. But that's a good point. That landed pretty spot on, I guess. I guess like my biggest fears is that of like what happened when I like met someone else a couple of years ago, like about a year after we separated, is that I like hold those boundaries strongly. I decide to move on, and I don't know that there's something about him and his energy that scares me, because he's been like kind of like very like emotionally abusive, and at times like have done some things that are very questionable, but I don't know. I just have a lot of fear surrounding him, and I want to feel free from that, but I don't want to hold my son to like feeling like he has to be like this tie to this person, or like he comes back and being like, oh, like, she's trying to like move on with someone else or try to create this life, and she doesn't, I don't know, just trying to like use my son to hurt me or something. I don't know. There's just, I think that's why like a part of me has been thinking, hey, you know what, maybe this is a good idea to reconnect with him, but I think there's just like kind of fears around him. So
I got you. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying to include him in y'all son's life, but you just got to keep boundaries. Him having access
Yeah.
to your son does not equate him having access to you.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But I guess like knowing that, right? Like how what you said is really how it is most of the time. Like when it comes to just setting those boundaries and him having access to his son, he doesn't have like that interest. Like he doesn't really have that interest to connect with his son.
Okay. Well, then leave it alone. Then.
Okay.
Yeah. This everything I told you about co-parenting was like predicated upon him having a genuine desire to see his son. If he doesn't have that, then you just move on.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I just need to stop trying to force him to want to be there.
Yeah, you can't force someone to have a desire they do not have.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. That lands.
All right,
Thank
love.
you.
No problem, dear. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Who we got next? Gotta be careful who you have kids with, people. Careful who you have kids with. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I need advice.
What's going on?
So I'm in a 10-month-old relationship.
Hello?
Buddy, your mic is really bad. Can you do something with your audio?
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm in a 10-month-old relationship, but I'm having some challenges with my girl.
Okay.
So she's a very good person, a loving woman, very supportive. But I've got about 3 challenges. Number one is that I don't know, she's just in constant communication with the ex. It's something that I addressed, of course, when we just like 3 months into our relationship. I told her that I'm not comfortable with you communicating with your ex. Of course, she actually did not know she was going to cut off completely the communication, but it's always that on-off kind of communication. I talk about it, she stops. Later, when I check probably her phone, I find that she talks to the ex. So recently, like a week or so ago, because she's got like 3 phones, so I checked one of them. I asked for one of the phones. I just wanted to check. I don't believe, of course, in checking my woman's phone, but sometimes just a gut feeling. So I checked the phone. I found that she's still in constant communication with the ex, and the fun part is that they talk like basically literally about everything, and another thing is that I don't know. I'm not just comfortable with the fact that she's overprotective of her phones. Like it's too much. There's no more. Even me, like I've got passwords on my phone, but not where everything, like literally every application, it being messages, gallery, name it, everything. Like it's like a vote. It's a bank vote. That's got I don't know how many passwords. So I feel like there's just a lot going on with her. Yeah.
Okay. What's your question here?
I don't know. I don't know if okay. One, I'm not comfortable with her talking to her ex, and I'm beginning to question if I should continue with it or not. And again, I'm not sure like how to deal with a situation where you're in a relationship and obviously you're planning a future together. And here's a situation where even when he wants to do something, because sometimes she asks for my phone, generally she just wants to do something, maybe make a transaction on my phone. Maybe sometimes I want to make a transaction on her phone, but every other time, like our phone is a vote that you need 20 passwords to do your stuff.
Brother, what's your question here?
The question is, do you think she's a genuine person?
Okay, so
With those,
when you communicated that you didn't like her talking to her ex, how did she respond?
whenever I talk about it, she like stops, but after some time, I find that she communicates with him again.
How did she respond?
The response has been okay. No. I'll get done with it. I'll sort this out. There's nothing going on. It's just that thing. Maybe it calls, it takes to find out one or two things. That has always been my response.
Okay, so she tells you that she'll stop, and then she stops, and she starts back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would leave the relationship.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, I would just leave the relationship. She's disrespectful. She's disrespecting you. She doesn't take you seriously. And every time you stay after you see her messaging him and then you just bring it up again like she forgot, she'll just say she'll stop again and do it again. And every time you stay, she loses more and more respect for you, which has increased the odds that she will continue doing the exact thing that you despise.
Exactly. Actually, the last time, that's what I told her. Say, this is like total disrespect, because I cannot keep on talking about the same person over and over again. And for me, the most disrespectful moment was not too long ago. Like we're in this, like I went to visit her because she's on the other province. So I went to visit her there, and we decided to go out. While we were out, it happened that we met the same guy, like we're in the same, drinking space. And of course, on the table where he sat, there were, two ladies that she claimed to know, like they were their friends. And she decided, like, to leave the table where I was to go on the table where the ex was together with those two ladies in the name of, those are my friends, I want to catch up with them. And I found that too disrespectful. I don't know if I'm being insecure or something, but I just found that to be so disrespectful, where we go out and she decides to leave the table and go and sit on the table where the ex was in the name of,
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you right now, you need some balls, brother. You need some balls, brother. There ain't no way in the world. There ain't no way in the world. Huh? I just imagine me in that situation. I couldn't even imagine it. My brain wouldn't even formulate the picture. You have to leave, like that was your opportunity to leave immediately. There's no conversation that needs to be had. You have to understand, people know what they're doing a lot of the time. They know what they're doing. She probably would not do, if I was dating your girlfriend, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't think it would be okay to do. She is thinking it's okay to do with you. So you have to look at that. Like, the people who we're with are our mirrors. They show us things about ourselves that need to be healed or integrated, right? You need way stronger boundaries. Boundaries aren't simply I communicate a standard to you. What's with that is a willingness to leave. If you have a boundary, but you don't have a willingness to leave, all you have is a bluff. You're bluffing. So you have to leave. This isn't like, well, maybe I didn't communicate it the right way. No, you communicated it the right way. She understood that you don't like this shit. She just know you're not going to do nothing about it. So now you got to prove her wrong. And she's going to be very surprised when you leave. And I hope you do leave. Hope you don't leave this call and be like, well, I kind of want to stay with her. It don't matter what comes out of her mouth. I need to be clear. This is a situation to leave right now. Not to have another conversation with her, because she's going to try to convince you with her words to stay. No, words don't matter at this point. You've been essentially spitting in my face symbolically. You just leave the situation. This only gets worse if you stay. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for that advice. This has really been bothering me, because every time I talk, sometimes when I bring it up, she's like, Nobi, you are just overreacting, especially last night. That, to me, that was so disrespectful. There is no way you can go and sit on the table where your ex is and I'm there, and then you claim to just talking to the ladies that you know. It was so disrespectful, and obviously just she came out as if I was just overreacting, and I've really been thinking about that.
I got you. Well, go ahead and leave, brother. Let me know when you do. All right?
Sure.
All right, Chief. Take
All
care.
right. Thank you.
All right, Larissa.
Hello,
Hey, how you doing?
are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to make this question. So the situation is really horrible. I will be very direct. The thing is, so people always say love is all, blah blah blah. Is it bad for a girlfriend that was fiance because after being proposed, he cheated and they still tried to go back and now they are just talking, né? But the thing is that in 4 years, this man doesn't have a car, work as a nurse, say that hi, I will change, I'm changing, I want to marry you, I want to have kids with you, but the man don't have a car, don't have like a proper stable financial education, let's say that. And I be thinking, why love have to be enough when this man is not able to provide like materially, like the girl is doing everything, but he is just claiming that if you love me, you will clean, you will cook, you will clean for my parents, you will be faithful. And that's what love is. And whenever I say, yeah, but you don't have a car, you don't have this, you don't have that, it becomes a fight because they say, oh, so you're looking only for material. So my question is it wrong that women think like this, that men should have material things and to offer to a woman, like a great life to a woman?
Is this situation about you?
It is embarrassing, but yeah, I am living the situation. The only difference, the only thing that is good in all of this is that I am done with this inside of my head. I have my own apartment, I'm finishing my degree, so I am really ready to just, you know what, I don't want to waste my time anymore. But yeah, it's shameful because I think this took my self-esteem. But the thing is that I was always doing everything in the name of love. And now I'm paying for it.
How long have y'all been together?
4 years.
How old are you two?
I am 35, he's 34.
Okay.
And his dream is to have a kid. Now he wants to have a kid. He wants me to finish degree and marry and have a kid. And I don't want to have a kid. I don't want to marry a man like this. Because before I wanted, that's why I give another chance. But then I be thinking, if I'm suffering now, my kid will be suffering in the future. Okay. So.
Okay. So the only problem here is that he doesn't have a car?
You see, it is a big, no, it's not only that. I mean, he just don't think like, for example, we live in Germany right now. It's very warm, and he didn't have the idea to buy a klima. And I was like, why you didn't buy a klima? I didn't know, you know, like, I want a man that think before me, because I have this kind of mind. So I am always making sure the food is cooked, the house is clean, being polite, being nice, dressing nice, being nice to his parents. And why he cannot do something? He cannot just be a guy that works and eat and stay at home sleeping. Sorry, this is like whole type of marriage or relationship, and I don't want to have this.
How does he contribute to the relationship?
Klima is an air conditioner.
Okay. How does he contribute to the relationship?
Good question. He contribute like paying all the dates every time when we go to restaurants. He collaborate like buying food. Yeah, okay, that's good. And I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, he pay the apartment also. But still, I mean, I don't know.
So he pays the bills and he pays for y'all when y'all go out?
When we go out, he pay the bills. Yeah, this I have to say. Yeah, he does.
But you said
I Yeah.
You said the apartment too, so he pays for where y'all live?
Yeah, because listen to this. We used to live together. He always offered to pay everything, but because of my my wrong pattern, intern thinking that I always think that I have to be useful, I wanted to pay my part of the apartment. So I used to pay, and we had a very big fight. And I just found an apartment for myself, and I pay my own apartment. So I have an apartment, and he stay in his apartment now. This apartment now is his own, because I get out. But we are still like together. I mean, it's a very idiot situation. Like, I know, it's all because we are trying to reconnect. But I feel that I don't know if I want this for more 10 years, 20 years. I don't know.
Do you have a car?
No, I don't have a car, sir. But, come on. I don't have a car. Wow. Okay, I see that maybe you are on his side.
I'm not on any sides here, dear. I'm asking for data. So you're telling me that you're with somebody, your main complaint was that he didn't have a car, and you kind of framed him at the beginning as not being a provider. But then you told me that he was paying for the apartment that y'all had, and you wanted to pay your way, and he didn't want that, so you decided to go get your own apartment. So you can't say someone who's willing to pay for both of y'all to stay together and pay the bills and also pay for y'all to go out. You can't call that man. You can't determine that he doesn't provide when he's clearly providing, right? It was your decision to want to pay when y'all lived together, and it was your decision to move out. Now you're also asking him to have something that you yourself do not have and making it seem like he's lacking for doing so. That doesn't make a lick of sense logically. Now, maybe you don't like him. That's a different conversation. If you just don't like this person, then leave. But don't make it seem like he's lacking something, because he's not. Not based off of what you just told me. There's a lot of women, listen, there's a lot of women in this chat right now. A lot of these women normally are team women. There's not one woman I see here who agrees with you.
I mean, they don't have all the details of the
Well,
situation.
you should share the
like
details
I
of
said,
the situation.
He cheated on me.
Okay,
right?
when did he cheat on you?
And I never cheated on him. Never, ever.
Okay, well then that would be a reason.
And-
That would be a reason to leave. I felt like there was another reason here, but that's what you should lead with. It's not the car situation. Sounds like you resent him for cheating, and now you're just finding other problems to have, right? But yes, if somebody cheats on you, then leave. That's a simple situation. No, once someone does something like that, get out of there. But the problem is him cheating, not that he's not a provider.
Yeah, I think when he cheated on me, I think I just lost also like all this. I mean, he just fall down on my way of seeing him, and I think now that I just be more demanding, like I just see him as a partner that needs to prove something because he did something bad to me.
Right.
And I think these are the things that I'm looking for. Like, okay, you did that, but at least you have to at least make this easier for me.
Right.
Like, as a way to compensate the pain that you gave me.
I got you.
I think that's going on right now.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm glad you came to that realization, because the problem here is the cheating. And there ain't no making up for cheating. You think if he had a car, will make up for it. If somebody was to gift him a car right now, you still going to resent him for cheating. So considering that you hold this resentment for something that makes perfect sense to resent him for, just leave the situation. What's keeping you there?
Honestly, what's keeping me is because it have a part inside of my heart that still remember the man that I met like 4 years ago.
I get it.
Unfortunately, that part is still there. And every time I think in leaving, my mind just makes me, you know who you leaving. you know, remember that thing that you had with him, remember that feeling, remember that sparks, remember that butterfly in your stomach.
Right.
But it's more deeper than just that's
I
only
get
a
it.
teenager thing.
get it.
It's not that. It's because I really loved him,
Mm-hmm.
but now I be thinking, who is this person now? Because
Right.
the pain was really big, and I didn't heal yet.
Right.
So
Right. You're in love with the memory. You're not in love with the person. You're in love with the memory, right? So what you have in front of you, though, is the reality. So you have to determine whether or not you want to be with the reality of this situation. It sounds like you're not happy in it. So I don't want you to be in a situation where you stay here for another 2 or 3 years and then still leave. And now you just wasted 2 or 3 years that you could have spent healing and then finding somebody else to be with so that you can start that family that you want. Because that's what you're giving up. You're giving up that potential new relationship and the children that can come from it because you're too emotionally connected to the fantasy of who you thought this person was.
exactly, it's exactly that. I think I'm in love with the person that I create in my head. It must be that. And sometimes this is in conflict because I see this and then I see that, and I be like, okay, let me try to analyze this from other side. Like, okay, does he have a car? Does he have this? Does he have? I think it's this what is going on. Anyway,
Yeah, that's it, love. Yeah, if you want my advice, I would say just to leave that situation, spend some time in solitude so that you can like emotionally process things, and then find someone who you're in better alignment with. Okay?
okay, thank you.
No problem, dear. Best luck to you. All right. Sweet baby face, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Okay, I've been watching your live. I love your advice, so I said let me run this by you. Um, long story short, I was married for 17 years, in a relationship for 20 years, and we've been separated for about 5 years. I just recently, maybe the last year, I started dating, and recently I'm dating someone, actually a bit older than I usually go for. I'm 47, and he's in his early 60s.
Okay.
Yes, and we met through a mutual friend. We met, let's just say, in February, and then we didn't exchange phone numbers, but then we met again in July. And we exchanged phone numbers, we started talking, spending time together, and I think I kind of rushed into where he's able to come over every other weekend to spend the night with me, and we're from different states, not too far, but it's been going well. Gentleman, nice guy. As time go by, now it's been about 8 months, as time go by, I notice he has issue communicating his feelings and how he express himself.
Right.
And I've spoken with him about that as far as we could be talking, we talk every single day. We see each other at least twice a month. Just as simple as, I miss you. He has issue saying so. And when I say, oh my God, I miss you. Don't you miss me today? If we're talking on the phone, he said, oh my God, stop it. I mean, if I didn't miss you, I'm the one that called you. We wouldn't be on the phone. And I'm like, you can't just answer and say you miss me too without giving me a story behind it. And then it continued. I said, okay, it could be me, not him. But then I find it hard also. He doesn't open up to like, if we meet, he's very well dressed. Every time I see him, I always tell him, oh my God, you look so handsome today. You look good. But with him, he doesn't do the same with me.
Right.
Not to say that I don't know. He noticed that I look nice, but he doesn't express it. And if I do ask, why doesn't he say so? He always says, oh, well, you look good. You look nice. I don't have to say it. I said, well, I'm not really looking for, that you appreciate me, but it's just a matter of, it's one of those things women like for their man to say or to
Right.
notice. And also he's, and I notice it even with, he has a son. He's never been married. That's another thing. He's never been married. He was in a long relationship for 11 years. They've separated, so he's been single for a while. And I notice he's very strict with what he says and how he says it. To someone else, it might come off that he's cold-hearted, but he just doesn't know how to express it in words. And I'm the kind of person, my love language is, I love affection. It doesn't necessarily have to be touching. And even with when we spend time together sexually, I'm more likely to start it off. I'm very touchy, kissing and all of that. And him, he doesn't do it. If I do it, he particularly, but he doesn't start it off. And I've voiced my opinion about that also. And he always said, well, it has to happen naturally. I said, I understand it has to happen naturally, but it only happens if I mention it. And then once I mention it, you do it, but then you stop. So I don't want it to feel like I'm forcing you to do something that you don't like to do. And if it's okay, if it's something that you don't like to do, you're not comfortable with, as long as you voice your opinion, then I'll kind of understand more of waiting or accepting it. And then I'll be able to tell you if it's okay with me. But long story short, I've been thinking about ending things because there was a point where I voiced my opinion and I told him, I think you need to take time to think about this because I feel as though you're not emotionally available to me. I said, I know you have feelings for me. I know you care, but you don't really show it too much. And I said, think about it. And then when you do call me back, we're not going to talk like it's, oh, hi, how are you? We're going to go over it again and see how we're going to move forward. And I told him, okay, do you have anything to say about it? He says, well, I hear what you're saying. I understand it. I'm not disagreeing, but I hear you. I said, okay, then we'll talk. He didn't call me for 2 months. And within those 2 months, my birthday passed. The mutual friend is having an event at their house, which we were planning months before that. I was going to be there. I was going to help decorate, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even show. And I'm sure he didn't show because I know I was going to be there. He didn't call me for my birthday. Mother's Day passed. He didn't call. This was this past May. And 2 months into it, they had another event and I went and he was there. And that's when he decided to talk to me, to ask me, oh, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? What's going on? We grown. What do you mean? I pretty much told him how I felt. And then he said, well, what did you want to do? I said, well, I'm following you. You're the leader. So you didn't call me for at least 2 months and not even call me on my birthday or a text. So I figure I'm following your lead and I'm going to stay in my lane. And he suggested, he wants his woman back, blah, blah, blah. But I said, if you do moving forward, it's almost like we have to start all over again. And then he still doesn't do the things that I'm expecting him to do. And then recently, we were talking like, I don't think anything happened. And I found out he wasn't feeling well. He didn't go to work. So I called him to check to see how he's doing. And I spoke to him. He said, I'm doing okay, blah, 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 but I'm not feeling this. I said, okay, take some medicine, take care of yourself. I texted him the next morning, oh, did you go to work? How are you feeling better? He didn't reply until the afternoon. This was on a Monday. I texted him again Tuesday, because the time that I work, I figure he's still sleeping. I didn't want to wake him up in case he's resting and he didn't go to work. He didn't reply back till that night, Tuesday night. And he said, oh, I'm feeling better than yesterday. I'm okay. And he still didn't call me. And then I come to find out he went to work on Friday. So after that, I said, I'm done. So I'm just trying to find out, did I make the right decision?
Okay. How long are y'all together?
September would have made it a year. This upcoming September.
Okay. How did you meet him?
Through a mutual friend, a 50th birthday party.
Okay. And how long ago did you get separated?
Oh, from him?
from
Oh, you
your ex-husband?
It's been 5 years, but we had to go to court and stuff. So, legal wise, divorce was final in February.
Okay.
This past February.
Okay.
But we've been separated 5 years, living separate lives.
Got you. All right. So the way that I would approach this, I normally give this question to people, right? So if that person wasn't to change at all, this is just who he is, would you still want to be with him?
No.
Right. So you didn't make the wrong decision. At 60, he ain't changing. This is just who he is.
Yeah.
Right? You're describing someone who seems to have a degree of avoidant attachment, so they're not comfortable with vulnerability. Giving compliments and stuff like that feels vulnerable to them. So they don't want to do stuff like that. Right?
Sure.
And yeah, the things that you were expecting, the person just is not going to be able to give it to you. So there's no need. Like, I'm not even one who's a proponent on breaks. Like, I always tell clients, if you feel the need to take a break, just break up. It doesn't work like that. Like, people want to take breaks or actually break up and get back with an ex, but they don't understand that taking breaks or breaking up is a last resort. There's a problem, you don't have the skills or awareness to solve the problem, so you take a break or you break up. But then when you get back together, the problem that caused you to take a break or break up is still there. If it was something you knew how to solve, there would be no need for a break or breaking up.
Sure. It's like I know these things, but I just had to confirm it. But I didn't call, so what I decided actually, I texted him and said, I texted last night. I said, "Oh, I hope you're feeling better. I just hope it's everything okay with your mom and your son. You know, making sure there's nothing going on personally like that." He texted me back this morning. "Oh, thanks for checking. Everything is well." And that's when I texted him back and let him know that. Because I said, I'm not going to call because I don't know what happened between us. The fact that he decided not to call me. So I said, I'm going to do the same thing. Not trying to be tit for tat, but I came to a point where I'm like, I'm over it. So I just sent him a text. I know, moving forward, I just think it's, I've tried my hardest, and it seems like me communicating my feelings and expressing my feelings, it kind of shows that you have an issue or it's difficult for you to accept. So I think what it is moving forward is best to just that we're going to end things, and if we can be casual friends, that'll be fine because we know mutual people. So I'm bound to run into him, which it doesn't bother me and stuff. And I said, I just think it's best to just keep it that way. And I saw that he saw the message, but he didn't reply back. So.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna move on. You did a little bit too much in this situation. A little bit too much.
Okay.
You got to kind of give people space to reveal. I work with women clients sometimes, and they'll be the one who initiates a lot, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, "Why isn't he initiating?" I'm like, "Because you're not giving him the space to do so. You're carrying the connection on your back. You need to pull back a little bit, create some space for him to feel it." Right? So, but no, in this situation, there was quite literally nothing you could do outside of giving up your needs. So yeah, this is just something to move on from, but also something to reflect on to see like where you kind of misstepped. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is just staying so long. That doesn't mean just leave immediately at the first sign of trouble. That's not what I'm saying. But some people will get the data that they need to make a determination on whether or not the relationship will work, and then they'll continue staying. They'll have the same conversations over and over and over again. Like the previous caller, the guy whose girlfriend kept texting her ex, even after she said multiple times that she would stop. Okay, after that happens twice, I'll give you once. Because people will try you. A lot of people will try you just to see where the boundary is. You just got to know that that's something people do. Address it one time.
Ever since I ended with my ex, I told myself, moving forward, I'm not going to allow myself to stick around when I know
Right.
when I
Once
know
you
and
once
I
you see a
things
pattern,
from the beginning.
you do your part is like to communicate what the standards are and the expectations are, as long as they're reasonable, right? That's your job. It ain't to influence. It's not to persuade. Maz, let's timestamp that. That's a video. Just to communicate. It's not to persuade.
Sure.
You got into persuasion mode. So now you're trying to like change the person and sell them on giving you what you need. Once you got to persuade, it's over with.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Sure.
So, and once you get to that place, it's like, now you got to dip out.
Yeah. Well, I feel good about it because I told myself I'm done. So, well, I appreciate the time, and I want to say you're very good-looking gentleman. I
Thank
just
you,
wanted
bro.
to say that.
I appreciate it. I'm not
All right,
60
thank you.
yet, so it wouldn't work. But
What you said?
I said I'm not 60 yet, so it wouldn't work. But give me some years. Give me some years. All right.
I think I went out too far with that one.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, then. Thank you. Appreciate the time.
No problem, there. You take care.
All right, bye.
All right. Make sure I ain't got no grades popping. Am I getting misaged in this bitch? Huh? Got some grades popping out? What time is it? Okay, we got one more. We can do one more. Miles, don't forget about that persuasion versus communication. That's a good distinction. I might make a video on that today. Going super viral on Instagram right now from the capacity video. Had one of my clients messaged me. I was low-key salty because Shorty just like took the video and posted it. It was reposted on like a big page. So notifications are blowing up. Good stuff, good stuff. They didn't tag me. They were like video credit and they just wrote down my TikTok name, which, because my goofiness, my TikTok name is different from my Instagram name. Someone actually hunted me down from Instagram on TikTok to ask me a question from seeing that video. Why is that woman so mad though? What woman? Brian, I wouldn't try to joke, brother. Come on now. Look at yourself. You gotta, if you gonna talk about people's looks, man, you gotta be anonymous. It's best for you to be anonymous. You can't look how you looking in that profile pic and throw no kind of shots, brother. You can't do that. You gotta understand the game. You gotta understand the game, bro. I'm not even gonna go at you right now, but that's some advice for you. Olivia, what's going on?
Hi, you okay?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. What can I do for you?
So I kind of have a question about rebuilding trust.
Okay.
So I've been with someone for 6 months, and near the start of us getting together, I went on a holiday with some friends, their little one and my little one. He didn't like my clothes that I took on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't feel like they were appropriate or very relationship style. I did buy the clothes prior to meeting him. And it got very complicated. It got very messy. I tried to wear the clothes that he found the most respectful, as much as I possibly could. The same with the bikinis and the swimsuits. So I did everything that in the capacity that I could, with the options that I had to be respectful. I got back off holiday, we saw each other. He looked at my tan lines and went absolutely ballistic. And said that he didn't think that I'd stuck to it. He thought that I was just playing him, and I showed him what I packed in my suitcase because I saw him the next day and I actually hadn't unpacked my suitcase. And I showed him all the bikinis that I had. And I said, look, we went through together and we decided which ones that you found the most respectful, which ones you found the most disrespectful, and I didn't take them. I put them in the bin. We had this conversation prior. And he was just like, well, no, he's like, you must have taken one, you must have taken a different one. And I said, I didn't take a different one. Nothing else had kind of happened. He was like, well, looking at your tan lines, you must have done. And I said, tell me in my tan lines, where does that display that? He was like, I wasn't really happy with any of the bikinis you had. So and I was like, we were just making the best out of a bad situation. And I said, I can appreciate that. And he was like, I just feel like you've lied to me. I feel like you've just told me what I wanted to hear on this holiday and just been disrespectful, showing yourself as available to other men when, you keep saying that you want us and, behaving in that mannerism. And he now basically just doesn't trust me, thinks that I just display myself as available for men, and that he thinks that I was then hitting on other men while I was away, which I absolutely was not. I was on a family holiday with my friend and my little boy and her husband and her little girl. I was not interested in that. I have not been interested in anyone since I've met him. But he now just doesn't trust me. It just thinks that my clothes display that I'm available. I have bought new clothes since then to cater to his taste, because in my eyes, clothes are just clothes. As long as I can still relate and feel like I'm expressing myself in the clothes while being respectful to what he deems as respectful, I don't really care. But to him, he just says the trust is broken, that he thinks, in his eyes, it's pretty much cheating. I might as well have just cheated. And he insists that if I can behave like that on holiday, then what am I doing? Because we're long distance, then what am I doing when he's not around? I have my son 100% of the time. So it's kind of, even if I wanted to cheat, it would be extremely hard to cheat.
Right.
But yeah, he just doesn't trust me. And I keep trying to do things to rebuild the trust back, by allowing him on my phone. He's only been on it once. We had a bit of an argument about that because he wanted to tap on a conversation between myself and an ex-colleague where she had disclosed some personal things about a situation that she had been through, and I just didn't want him to read that because it was extremely personal,
Right.
extremely graphic, and I just didn't think it was his place to be reading that conversation. That's her business, nobody else's.
Right.
And I didn't have the number saved. He assumed that it was a man and thought I was just trying to hide it. So I kind of explained it to him. He was like, no, that's bullshit, or whatever. Sorry for swearing. He went away, spoke to some of his friends. They think that I was cheating too and don't believe me. I then went to show him the texts, not the graphical text, but the text between her and I, starting the conversation where she said to me that she wanted to talk to me about something and she was feeling a certain type of way, but not actually kind of what happened. And he's like, I'm not interested, I don't care, la 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 la.
He said la la
but I'm
la
trying
la.
really hard.
Did he make that noise?
No, didn't make that noise.
Okay.
But he just went off on a rampage, called me a lot of names under the sun.
What names did he call you?
I don't think TikTok will allow me to say them. A lot of swear words.
So he called you out your name? Okay.
Called me a runt, called me a hoe, called me a see you next Tuesday, a female hooker, all of those type of words. Yeah, it was a very heated argument. I want to be with him, and I know that we are the right people for each other. I just don't know how to rebuild the trust back in order for him to feel secure in the relationship.
Okay. Let's unpack this. why do you want to be with him, and why do you feel like y'all are the right people for one another?
So we've known each other for quite a while, and we just kind of understand each other. We have the same values, we have the same goals, we have the same things that we want in life. And when we are together, physically together, we do not have any problems. We get on like a house on fire. It's just almost like nobody else is around. It's just us. We have so much fun together. We are on the same vibe. We end up finishing each other's sentences. Like, we are very similar, and we just kind of get on. There is never any problems. It always seems to be that when we aren't together, that he is a massive overthinker and gets himself in a bit of an overthinking state.
Okay.
And
How old are you two?
then just we're 28 and 30.
Okay. And how long have y'all been together?
So we have been together for 6 months officially.
Okay. All right. And how frequently do y'all see one another in person?
So we see each other every other week.
Okay. Okay. And every
Due
other
to me
week.
having my son, he goes to see his grandparents every other weekend. So they help me out a lot with this situation.
Okay. And he saw your tan lines, so he saw that you wore a bikini, and he had a problem with that?
Yes, because in his eyes, he likes a very modest woman and doesn't like women to have their chest out at all. He didn't have a problem with the tan lines from like waist down because I didn't have my bum out basically. But he feels like I had too much cleavage showing, and felt like that I was then just in a bikini to attract
And
men's attention.
you said that y'all have known each other for a while?
Yes, we've known each other for about 2 years, maybe, about that.
So before y'all became romantic, did he have an awareness that you wore bikinis?
Yes, he was an awareness that I wore bikinis, but I guess it never really became a thing between us. Like, he knew that I wore them. He knew that that was the type of person I was. I think if we just never really talked about it, I guess it never really became a topic of conversation. But now it's a massive topic of conversation about what I wear and how I dress.
No, this is going to be a problem. It's heartbreaking to hear that you think that y'all are supposed to be together, because this sounds like a horrible person to be with. I need you to hear me. Y'all are 6 months into a relationship, and it's long distance. Y'all are supposed to be in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
but he feels like I've broken his trust and I'm not trustworthy after this.
Nope. I don't even buy the modesty bullshit. There are some men who do want their woman to dress modest, but the reason why that doesn't apply here is A, he already knew that you weren't that way. So that's his mistake. He should find someone who is. And then B, he's assuming that you're cheating off of it. If somebody was just focused on modesty, they would keep it on a modesty conversation. It would be like, well, I just don't like you dressing that way. I would like to just see that for myself. They wouldn't jump to cheating. This is textbook insecurity, right? He's insecure. Now, let me tell you how insecurity works. Even if you were to rebuild trust in this way and change the way that you dress, insecurity moves. It moves around because you haven't addressed the root. The root of it is he may not be enough to sustain this relationship, or he just has a mistrust of the opposite sex or you, right? Maybe he's been cheated on in the past. And if that is true, there's nothing you can do to absolve him of that psychological suffering. He's going to remain insecure. He'll just find another way to weaponize it, another way to find a reason to think that you're doing something that you aren't supposed to be doing. It starts with this dressing shit. Then a move to, what are you posting on social media? Then a move to, you were too nice to the waiter. See how that works? It's just going to always move. It's going to always move around. Only
kind of has materialized to
it's
the
materialized. So now
of
he's
what you're
complaining
posting on
about.
social media
Yeah, you
stuff.
see, it moves around. There's no way you can address it. You can't really deal with people who are super insecure like that. You can't solve that problem. Only they can solve that problem, right? So you can't do it. So your original premise isn't even accurate because you can't rebuild trust in this situation because trust was never lost. He entered into this dynamic with that insecurity. It was already there. So, and he's being reinforced by his friend group who are probably also insecure, right? So there's nothing you can do in this situation. You 6 months in with somebody and they already calling you out your name, best believe shit gets worse from here. Way worse.
And that's not the ideal situation that I want to bring my son into, and that's why I haven't introduced them yet, because I don't think we're
Oh, definitely don't do
kind of
that.
there.
Definitely don't do that. If he doesn't have the emotional stability to avoid calling you out of your name, think about this. You were called everything under the sun because you had tan lines that imply that you wore a bikini. Think about that. If he reacts that way to that, 6 months in a long distance relationship, so if y'all were in the same city, this would be the equivalent of a 3-month long relationship. Right? So 3 months in a relationship, he already calling you out your name? What do you think happens like a year or two in? 3 years in? Do you think he's going to have the emotional stability to not react strongly in front of your child?
I think he would, only for the aspect of that he has grown up in that environment himself and is very tactile with what he says around certain people.
No.
So
Someone who's grown up in that environment themselves just don't. You're essentially implying that he grew up in a chaotic environment where people probably were unkind to one another. Okay.
Yes.
People go one or two directions. They learn from their parents and they don't do that at all, or they follow in their footsteps. And he's already showing you that he's following in the footsteps because he's already lost his shit with you 3 months in, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So no, he's probably told you that, but words don't mean anything. Behavior is where you get the actual data. So behaviorally, the evidence that you have is that when he is upset, he's not going to control what comes out of his mouth.
No, and that's something that I've kind of had that conversation with him prior. He says that he wants me to change some of the behaviours towards him, and I've told him that if he wants me to change some of my behaviours, then he needs to control and change the way that he speaks to me, whether he's angry or not. That's not the way you speak to people in any type of environment, never mind a loving relationship.
That's not the way that works. You think
What do you
he was already aware that you shouldn't talk to people like that, yet he did it anyway. You're treating it as if he just didn't know. Hey, you shouldn't talk to me like that. You know what? I never considered that I shouldn't call you a bitch when I get mad at you. It's like, no, you knew that already. But you did it. But you couldn't control yourself. So having one conversation with him does not magically give him the ability to control himself.
No.
All right. So I know that you like him, but you have to look at the holistic view of the person, not just the parts that you like. So yeah, we finish each other's sentences and he calls me names if I have a tan line, right? Like both of those things are true. So you have to see if the good outweighs the bad. Doesn't in this situation, especially considering that you have a child. How old's your child, by the way?
He's 9.
No.
Very impressionable and has severe autism, so he is very challenging.
Right. Yeah. This ain't the one, love. This isn't the one. Not being that insecure. Like there's levels to insecurity. Like there's some guys who can have a little bit of insecurity. They also don't like the same thing that he likes, but they don't take it this far. They don't make accusations. They're just uncomfortable with it. Right? You're being accused of full-fledged cheating. He's essentially telling you having tan lines is the equivalent of actually cheating on him.
Yeah. That's what he believes.
So ain't nothing you can do with that, but tolerate it. That's on you though. If you want to tolerate it, that's fine. But don't think you can go have a couple of conversations and change this person at their core. It's not how that works.
I don't think the thing is, I don't think I want to tolerate it. That's not something that I want to role model to my son, that it's okay to speak to people like that.
Right. I agree.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate the honesty and advice.
No problem, love. Best luck to you, all right?
Thank you so much.
You know, sometimes I think like, am I in danger? Because I've ended quite a few relationships with this call. With this live, I mean. Quite a few! Is there a group of motherfuckers out there trying to hunt me down? What do you think? Do I need to hire security? I've saved relationships too. But I've ended a lot of them. I've ended quite a few. And she's not gonna leave? Maybe not. Maybe not. Hope so. Maybe not though. It's a coin flip with women a lot of times. Baby, I'll change. You know what? That sentence you just said was very convincing. I think I'll stay. Like, some women are just like that, bro. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. That's right, Eva. All I can do is plant the seed, babe. That's it. It's y'all's live. Yeah, good for a week or so and you forget. Right. So, you know, I mean, I've told men to leave. I'm not too certain Buddy without the testicles is leaving, to be honest with you. I hope he does. Because if I was a betting man, I'm sure he's getting put through a mattress right this second. On his bed. His mother's picture is on the stand, it's shaking. Picture just shaking. And it fell down and she picked it back up and placed it back. She wanted her to watch. That's what he's going through. So I hope that he removed himself from that situation. But I'm not certain. I'm not certain. Didn't sound too convincing when we got off the call. My ex has unblocked me randomly. What does this mean? Does he miss me? Unblocked you where? Like your phone number or like on social media? I wouldn't read into it. Y'all read into too much stuff. My ex watched my story. Does that mean she wants to get married? No, motherfucker, she probably just watched your story. If I thought that, every ex wants me back. Hella old work watching stories. Sometimes people just watch stories. Have you seen people go through stories? They'll be clicking through them shits. You're not special. If they don't come back to you and try to create like a conversation, I wouldn't pay no attention to it. I wouldn't pay any attention to it. See if you're doing better. Yeah, sometimes people are just curious. Curiosity doesn't mean they want to get back together. Clock it, yams. Clock it, yams. What Shorty say? Real shit, my stories be on fits. I hit it by mistake. Hey, I don't watch plenty of stories by mistake. I hope she didn't read into that. Be just clicking through shit. Whoops. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I still have my ex blocked. I just don't feel like unblocking her. I don't really see what the point is. Cass, what's happening? I genuinely don't know what to do, and I caught him cheating. Just leave, right? Yeah, just leave. So that's what I would do if somebody cheated on me. I would leave. You know? I'm sorry that happened to you. Cheating is traumatizing. Traumatizing. But yeah, I definitely would leave that situation. I think you told everyone to leave today. Yeah, that was what the questions I was asked are all you should leave that situation type questions. Sometimes people ask me questions and it's salvageable. We didn't get any of those today. What book do you recommend for dating and understanding a man? I don't recommend any book. I recommend coaching. So if you want to book a 1-hour coaching call, you should DM me the word coach. And I'll tell you exactly how you can book your call. You'll get clarity over your situation, as well as a step-by-step action plan, so you know exactly what to do next in your specific situation. I'm hard to say leave, you know what's really bad? Yeah, because I typically try to work on the situations with people. So like if the relationship is salvageable, I do what I can to salvage it. I will only tell you to leave if it's not salvageable or if it's not worth doing. Like the woman who had the child, right? I'm a big proponent of 2-parent households. So my desire was to tell her a way to make things work with the father of her child. But then she communicated, he wants nothing to do with his son. So unfortunately, you gotta leave that situation alone. It is what it is. If he just calling to flirt with you and you gotta force him to talk to your son, he's gotta dip out, man. I wouldn't even find a person like that attractive. That's me though. If I had a child with you and you don't want anything to do with the child, I can't even be attracted to you after that. You disgust me. You feel me? You disgust me now. Oh, I think I missed something. Somebody is texting someone else. Would you say leave too? Depends on the context. In the context of that previous caller, like, yeah, he had to get up out of there. Want to get back with an ex, but made a terrible decision while broken up. You made a terrible decision. What was your terrible decision? Do tell. You slept with his daddy. What happened? Best friend? Enemy? Enemy's the worst. No, all of those are pretty bad, but enemy is up there for sure. I can't see how you can be in my face and act like the kid ain't yours, right? My partner taught me so much about what I was excited about, but wasn't too romantic till I told him. Okay. I was intimate with someone close to him. Well, we go ahead. It's a Reynolds wrap, baby. Go ahead and wrap that up. Put it in the fridge. It's done for. That's done for. Nope. Why did you do that, love? Why did you do that? No judgment, but curiosity. Why would you do that? You ask me why do I say it's done? Okay. I always hate having to do this, but let me do it anyway. Let's flip it. Let's say y'all broke up and he slept with someone close to you. How do you feel about that? Awful, right? Now, take that awful feeling and put it in his body. That's how he's going to feel when he finds out. Hannah, what's wrong? You'd be surprised how often I have to do that. Listen, people, it's not more complicated than that, love. Like, I'm sure there's more detail, sure, but ain't nobody trying to hear any excuses in that situation. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Nobody trying to hear that. All that matters here is the fact. Out of everyone you could have slept with, you slept with someone close to him. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You might as well be with a friend now. L friend, by the way. L friend. Okay, so he has no character, right? Right. But yeah, I have to flip things for people a lot. Which I'll do for clients and people who call in. Tell you what, in my personal life, if you display that you have no empathy, I have zero patience for that. If I gotta flip, like, why is your default not? How would I feel if I was in this situation? You'd be surprised how often or how many people don't think like that. They just don't. That's not their default setting. And then when you flip it, they're like, oh, I never thought about that. I never thought about how I would feel if that same thing happened to me. Oh my God, bro. So many people are like that. So many people are like that. All right. What other kind of last minute questions do we have before I get out of here? Before I wrap it up. Love, you can explain tonight at 9 p.m. when I go live again. Because I'm not taking any more calls. But yeah, you can come up at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live daily. If you want to watch the replays of these lives, you can check them out on YouTube, since I stream them on YouTube. Link in bio for that. It's at The Signal Dating. What else? Also, if you want coaching, 1 hour coaching call, you can DM me the word coach and we will handle it. I'm going to go ahead and run because I got calls coming up with clients. So got to get out of here. Hold on. Are you cool if she farts around you on the first? Absolutely not. Farting around me on the first date is crazy. It better be an accident. Better be an accident. What do you mean? Yuck. Anyway, that's a wrap, folks. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight. Y'all take care.